Welcome to Easy English Talks podcast.
Today's big question: why does learning English feel so difficult? Is it the crazy pronunciation rules, all the different tenses, or maybe those tricky phrasal verbs? If you've ever thought to yourself, I wish someone had told me this earlier, then today's lesson is for you. We'll be exploring 10 common mistakes English learners make. So if you stick around until the end, you might just discover that elusive piece of knowledge that will help your English finally click. Hey there, it's me from Tom, and let's get started with mistake No. One SubjectVerb Agreement. It's not uncommon for English learners to get tripped up when it comes to keeping their subjects and verbs in agreement. A subject is the thing performing an action, while a verb is the action itself. They need to agree in number, meaning if your subject is singular, so should be your verb, and vice versa. Here's where things get interesting. English has a sneaky little verb called to be. When used to describe a state of being rather than an action, it has its own unique plural form, are. Check out this example. She's a teacher, singular subject plus singular verb. But they are students. Plural, subject plus plural, verb. Got it. Good. Let's move on to mistake number 2, pronunciation, the letter H. This one's got to be frustrating. Imagine spending years learning to speak without ever using that H at the beginning of words. In some cases, the silent H can be a real party pooper, especially when it comes to plurals. For instance, honest becomes honest, even though that H is still there in the spelling. But fear not, my friends, for there is hope. With a bit of practice, you can master the art of the spoken H and make your sentences sound that much richer. On to mistake number 3, articles a and an. Are you ever confused about whether to use a or an? Here's a simple trick to help you choose the right article. A is used before words that start with a consonant sound, while an is used before words that begin with a vowel sound. Let's have a look at some examples. A cat, an hour, a university, an elephant. Now you're speaking like a pro. Let's dive into mistake. No. For countable and uncountable nouns. Countable nouns are things you can count, like book, chair, or person. But what about abstract ideas like love, freedom, or happiness? Those are examples of uncountable nouns. Now here's the twist. You can't use numbers with uncountable nouns. You could say 2 chairs or 5 freedoms, but it just doesn't sound right, does it? That's because uncountable nouns are treated as singular. If you want to talk about more than one of these concepts, you can use phrases like a lot of, plenty of, or a great deal of. For example, a lot of freedom, or a great deal of happiness. Now let's tackle mistake no. 5 prepositions. Many English learners struggle with prepositions. Those little words that often show the relationship between nouns or pronouns and other words in a sentence. Take at, on, and in, for example. Each one has a slightly different meaning when describing location. At is used for specific places, like I'm at the library. On is used for surfaces, like the book is on the table. And in is used for locations that are enclosed, like the fish is in the water. It's important to note that prepositions can also play a crucial role in phrasal verbs. These are combinations of words that have a figurative meaning different from the literal meanings of the individual words. For example, break up means to end a relationship, but not to break something. So if someone says, I'm going to break up with my boyfriend, they don't mean they're going to break his bones. Instead, they mean they're ending their romantic relationship. Similarly, look after means to take care of someone, not to literally look at someone's rear end. So if someone asks who's looking after the kids, they want to know who's taking care of the children, not who's admiring their behinds. Moving on to mistake number 6, past tenses. Oh, the many tenses of English, the bane of many a learner's existence. But fear not. I'm here to shed some light on this often misunderstood topic. Let's take the past continuous tense as an example. It's used to describe actions that happened at a specific time in the past. For instance, I was playing tennis yesterday at 3 p.m. But what about when we want to talk about completed actions in the past? That's where the simple past comes in handy. I played tennis yesterday is a simple past sentence. It describes a completed action that happened at a specific time. Remember, the key difference lies in the way we form these tenses. Past continuous uses the present participle form of the verb, while simple past uses the simple past form. So if you want to talk about actions that were ongoing at a specific time, go for the past continuous. But if you want to describe completed actions in the past, the simple past is your best bet. Mistake number 7, can versus may. The great verb conundrum. Can and may often leave learners feeling blue. While both verbs express possibility, they have different shades of meaning and usage. Can is used to talk about abilities and things that are possible. For example, I can swim, or you can buy a ticket online. On the other hand, may is used to talk about permission or things that are allowed. For instance, may I use your phone, or you may park your car here. To sum it up, think of can as a doer and may as a permiso. Now let's discuss mistake. No. 8 word order. English has a specific word order known as SVO, subject-verb object. That means that typically the subject comes before the verb, which comes before the object. However, there are times when this order can change to add emphasis or variety to your sentences. For example, instead of saying, I love pizza, you could say, pizza, I love. That's a bit silly, isn't it? But this is exactly how native speakers sometimes emphasize how much they love pizza. And then there's mistake no. 9. Using a dictionary. When learning a new language, it's important to find resources that suit your learning style and level. Many learners turn to dictionaries. But let's be honest, they aren't always the most exciting study tools. But here's the thing. Dictionaries are great for checking the definitions of words or confirming spellings, but they're not always the best way to learn new vocabulary. After all, how many times have you looked up a word, memorized its definition, and then forgotten it the next day? So what's the solution? Try using example sentences. Instead of relying solely on dictionary definitions, look for example sentences that use the new word in context. This will help you understand the word's meaning and how it's used in different situations. You can also try using flashcards or other study tools to help you memorize new words. And now, for the grand finale, mistake number 10, trying to be perfect. This is a biggie. English learners, it's natural to want to express ourselves clearly and accurately. But constantly striving for perfection can actually become a major obstacle. Here's why. When we worry too much about making mistakes, we might hesitate or even give up when we're not sure of something. But guess what? Everyone makes mistakes, even native speakers. And here's the beautiful thing. Making mistakes is a natural and necessary part of the learning process. It's through our mistakes that we learn and grow. So the next time you're faced with a tricky word or grammar rule, don't let it hold you back. Embrace the challenge, learn from your mistakes, and keep moving forward on your English learning journey. So there you have it, 10 common mistakes English learners make and how to fix them. Hopefully this video has shed some light on common errors and provided you with the tools to avoid them. Remember, learning a language takes time and practice. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. They're part of the journey. Keep practicing, keep learning, and most importantly, keep believing in yourself. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe for more fantastic English lessons. Until next time, happy learning.